Hello and welcome back to the world of the spirit consciousness. This is a book study session on the Etheric Double by Arthur Powell. We are discussing the fifth module, which deals with birth and death. This is covered in chapters 15 and 16 respectively. This particular video session deals with death. So this video session is split up by etheric body on death, physical body on death, disposal of the dead body, the determinant of postmortem life, and possession by departed souls. Etheric body on death. So the etheric body may get separated from time to time by the physical body, but it is always tethered to it by a cord of etheric matter. At death, the etheric body finally detaches itself from the body. It is then visible as a violet-colored mist. The mist eventually condenses into the form of the person, even though the etheric body remains attached to the physical body. At the precise moment when death occurs, this shining etheric cord immediately breaks. So the Buddhic life web then frees itself from the dense physical matter and it draws itself around the physical permanent seed along with the prana. Then the permanent atom, the life web, and prana together rise along the Sushumna Nadi and enter the third ventricle of the brain. They then reach the parietal and occipital junctions and thereon exit the body altogether. The Buddhic life web holds the physical permanent atom within itself in the causal body until a new physical body has to be built. After the etheric body separates itself from the physical body, it generally hovers around it for some time. It appears like an apparition to those who were closest to it. This apparition is in a dreamlike state, blissful and silent until it is distracted by grief or some stormy emotion. This apparition has a ghost-like appearance, like a misty figure that is visible just after death. So when the double is being withdrawn and later, the self reviews the whole of the man's past life as it passes before the self. All aspects of the life, every forgotten moment are played up for the self to review in the finest detail, event to event, yielding all its secrets. Then, as the days pass, the higher bodies detach themselves from the etheric body. After this stage, there is a brief period of blissful unconsciousness as the etheric body and the astral body also get separated. In this stage of separation, the individual cannot act in either the physical or the astral body, resulting in a state of short, passive unconsciousness. The etheric body then becomes an etheric corpse, remaining near the physical body, both decomposing together. Sometimes the etheric apparitions can be spotted as unpleasant sights in churchyards, as a bluish-white or violet haze in various stages of decay. Physical body. So, with the exit of the etheric body and prana from the physical body, the latter ceases to function as a single organism. It begins existing as only a group of independent cells trying to separate from each other. The lower strata of cells which exist independently on the corpse immediately begin to break down the physical body. It can be described as a body coming alive in its composition but being dead overall as an organism. According to Eliphas Levi, a practitioner of ceremonial magic and occult author, he says, the corpse would not decompose if it were dead. All the molecules which compose it are living and struggling to separate. This continued living of cells has been postulated as a reason for the believed continued growth of hair and nails of dead bodies. Disposal of the dead body. As we have already seen, post-death of physical body, the etheric corpse floats near the physical body in various stages of decomposition. Now, cremating the dead ensures that the etheric body rapidly disintegrates. As the focal point of the etheric body, the physical body has been destroyed. Further, if an individual strongly desires to return to the physical body for whatever erroneous reason, the practice of cremation destroys the unnatural and unfortunate possibility of it. The same, however, cannot be said about the burial or embalming of a dead body. If a person wishes to return to the same physical body, the practice of burial can actually facilitate this avoidable union. Also, certain forms of black magic take advantage of a decomposing physical body or of the etheric body. This is also avoided by cremation of the dead. So sometimes a dead person who cannot see beyond physical life finds it very difficult to accept the detachment from the physical body. It then makes frenzied and unfortunate attempts to re-enter inside the dead, dense body, and when unable to do so, catches hold of the etheric matter of this body that has been cast out. In a situation that is highly undesirable and be completely avoided, the person carries the etheric matter along with them and suffers tremendously. So this is explained over here how it suffers. So since the attachment still exists, the astral plane remains covered with the etheric shell. Due to this, the person can neither travel on the astral plane nor go back to the physical consciousness because there are no physical organs that can connect them with life on earth. Subsequently, the person is left in a state of confusion, panic, and despair, roaming helplessly in a heavy, dark fog. After considerable suffering, the etheric shell eventually disintegrates. Helpful and generous people among the dead often try to convince such an individual to not hold on to such a desire, but this is usually to no avail. Now, these situations can be entirely prevented by cremation. Given the advantages in handling of physical and etheric body post-demise, it is considered wise to cremate the dead. Dead body does not feel the burn of fire since the etheric and the astral body have been separated and hence does not negatively affect the being of the deceased. Determinant of postmortem life. As already discussed, that the person reviews his whole life as the etheric body is being withdrawn. It sees all of the joys, sorrows, regrets, successes, failures of the lifetime, each event clearly in view, almost like living the entire life once again in those few moments. The ego is able to see what the most prominent tendency was in that lifetime and accordingly establishes where the important part of the post-mortem life will be spent. As stated by Kaushitaka at the time of death, the prana amasses everything from that lifetime and submits it to the knower, who contains all. Possession by departed souls. A person who still wishes to go back into the dead physical body can occasionally contact the physical plane by getting hold of a medium. Although the person's spirit guides strictly forbid them from doing so because the medium is very likely to turn insane or become obsessed in the physical plane. The target of such individuals is usually a compassionate and delicate human, for example, a young girl. The individual can successfully seize power over the medium only if the medium's ego has succumbed to his hold on the vehicles by entertaining lower levels of thoughts and desires. So in some cases, the human soul that has left the dead physical body tries to return by obsessing an animal, usually cattle, sheep, or pigs, although even dogs, cats, or monkeys can be taken advantage of. To then separate oneself from the body of an animal requires continuous efforts and usually can be possible only after the animal dies, although the astral knot still remains to be disentangled. This has been likened to be the fifth race, which is a substitute for the terrible life of the vampire found in the people of the older fourth race. So the next, we with this we finish module 4. In the next module, we'll be looking at the applications of prana and whatever we've done so far. So in this section, we'll be discussing healing, mesmerism, and shields. Stay tuned.